I'm going to tell you exactly what I did to manifest this truck. Is this my truck? We'll find out. Stay tuned. We're at another place and looking at more trucks. This one so far looks like it's in good shape, so stay tuned, my friends. I thought I heard something. Is it an animal? Okay, I guess it's nothing. Look, traveling alone in the desert on my trip, I guess I'm just gonna have to be aware of my spidey senses. Okay. I'm Jane Garrity. I'm a psychic medium, and I'm getting ready to embark on what's turning into a spiritual pilgrimage. And I'm gonna be documenting my journey on my vlog, and part of this journey was getting a truck. And so I wanna share what I manifested, how I did it, the timeline, the things that had to happen in order for me to find this gem. So I was looking for a truck specifically to be able to handle my truck camper. So I started researching what I would need to be able to get a really good truck. And so I started researching engines, body styles, payload capacity, you guys. Payload capacity. I also was researching different models, Fords, Dodges, GMC Chevys, all of these things. And what I want to let you know is that when we are manifesting, the universe is really about us meeting them halfway. My human design is a manifesting generator. So now that I've even learned as my Gen X ripe old age of 54 of my human design type, I'm really trying to maximize how I live my life to be a manifesting generator. It's given me understanding of how I've gotten everything in my life, why my path was so zigzaggy and all over the place. People are like, oh, you have ADD when it comes to your career. And yeah, it seems like it's true. But the reality is that I'm a manifesting generator. I knew this. Even last year, I'm like, I know I'm gonna have my own truck someday. I don't know how the universe is gonna make it happen, but I know it's gonna happen. So here we are, fast forward to 2 weeks ago. And I put it out there. I visualized. I made sure that I was gonna put out to the universe, between my visualization, my intention, my words, my embodiment of energy, that I was going to get the truck of my dreams, everything that I've needed within a budget. First and foremost, I had to sell my car, and it seemed sudden. I just knew I had to sell it, and I'm glad I did, because now prices of used cars have come down. So I was able to maximize my top dollar payout for. Then I thought, okay, what's my budget for my trip? What's my budget for my truck? And how am I gonna find this? I feel like I needed a unicorn. I was looking for a unicorn with this truck. And so what I did was I thought, I want something very mechanically sound so that I'm safe when I'm by myself on the road. I need something with a payload capacity of 3,000 to 4,000 pounds to be able to hold my simple camper and all in. So, which is probably about 2,000 pounds maybe. And so this Ford F-250 has the payload capacity of about 3,500 pounds or so. So it fits right in my range. What I decided that I was gonna have to do was really be specific, okay? So visualization. I didn't care about the color. I don't care about the color of the truck. I wanted something safe. So what I did was I thought, I want something mechanically sound. I want something that's in my price range of about $10,000. And I need the payload capacity. And I want it to be in decent shape. No rust. I knew I was going to be looking at older models, and so I really had to get specific about what are the models that I really wanted to look at. And so I started looking at used trucks between car gurus, dealerships, Facebook Marketplace, you name it. And wow, I found a lot of junk fucking pieces of shit cars, you guys. Trucks, people not taking care of trucks, oil leaks, rust. questionable questionable engine lights. And so as I continued my search, my husband was amazing, would come with me, and we would drive clunkers for listed at like 13 and 14K, way above my budget. I really didn't want to spend more than 12 because I also knew that I had to do some work to it. I need to get tie downs installed on the frame so that I can put my truck camper in and secure it in so that it doesn't fall out of the truck. So all of these things I had to take into consideration when looking for a truck. And so what I did was I visualized. When I was meditating, I would visualize, this is what I want. And I knew in my intuition, in my heart, that I was going to look for a unicorn. So I sold my car. I got a check for almost $19,000. And after moving to Colorado, my bank account was still in New Hampshire. And I was like, I need fast access to cash. So I opened up a new banking account here at a local credit union in Golden. And what I came to realize is that once I gave my check, I had a 9-day hold on my money, you guys. Are you fucking kidding me? I have all this cash and I'm flush and I'm ready to purchase a vehicle, but I can't. I have to wait 9 days. And let's get this straight, 9 business days, okay? And so I had to, and when I was sitting there opening my account, I literally said to myself, this is on purpose. The delay is here for a specific reason. And just because I knew that the delay was here for a specific reason didn't make it easy, you guys. I'm like, that's my money. Why can't I have access to my money? Well, guess what? The universe also knows that Jane, me, can be impulsive and probably purchase something that I wasn't ready to purchase or that I shouldn't have purchased. So the good news about having this delay was that I was forced to do my research. I was forced to do my homework. I was forced to drive a lot of fucking shit boxes out there that people wanted money for. And it felt so scammy. My husband, every truck we looked at, my husband was crawling underneath leaks. Engine's not good. Why do you have, what's wrong with the power steering? All of these things that we had to take into consideration and drive and feel for ourselves. Because I had to go through, the universe is questioning me and saying, you got to go through this process. You want this unicorn? You got to know when you get it. And that is the delay. That is the process. Going through all of the things that we had to go through to get to the point to where when I sat in this truck, I knew it was the one. And I'm not gonna lie, like, it's hard, right? We have to adjust our mindset for instant gratification. We as a society are really a society of consumption. And to me, this truck is not consumption. This truck is investment, not only for my camper, but for me, my safety, my security. So there was a lot more, right, that I had to learn about myself and the used truck buying process to be able to get to the point where when I knew when my money was going to be free, I'd find my truck. And I just knew it. I knew it. I trusted it and I knew it. That doesn't mean that maybe a doubt wouldn't crawl into my mind. And when those moments of doubt, thoughts that crawled into my mind would come in, I'd be like, no, I trust. I trust the universe and I trust the process. There is a process to some of these things, and I absolutely trust that the universe always has my best interest in mind. That means I had to just, every time a doubt, a thought came into my mind, I literally pushed it out and I was like, that's not mine. I'm trusting the process. I'm trusting the universe. I'm not going to buy a car until my money's free. I'm not going to find a truck until my money is available. And during that process, I had to research and do all those things. Okay, my money became free Monday. And so on Friday, my husband said, let's go look at trucks. And I have to admit, I was like, ugh. I was like, I don't want to look for trucks. Why doesn't my truck just show up at my doorstep? Isn't that what manifesting is about? No, that is not how manifesting works, you guys. It is just not. You have to meet the universe halfway. You got to do the work. We are magicians. We are creators of everything. And in order for us to manifest, there are things that we have to create around with ourselves and meet that process halfway. And so once I did that, I realized it was like, we went and looked at a truck. Nope. Went and looked at another truck. Not my truck. I was defeated, but I was also tired. I was like, I'm just sick of this process, man. I'm fucking tired of looking at all these things, wondering what's mine, what's not mine. And also understanding that everything that I looked at wasn't mine. I was like, no, this is a piece of shit. And you get those little doubts like, it's just not out there. My unicorn's not out there. But I didn't do that. I was like, my unicorn's there. I trust that the universe is going to put it in front of me and I'm going to know at the exact moment when it's mine. So as we were walking away from yet another piece of shit truck, my husband says, one more. I'm so grateful for him because, man, I was like, all right, one more. So I looked online and I had another one saved and I thought, all right, this time we're going up to Longmont. And what I recognized with this truck is they had just dropped the price $1,000. So it was listed at $10,999. The trucks that I had been looking at that were within my very low budget price range of $10,000, and I was looking at ones that were $12,000, $13,000, and $14,000, they were all ripped up, like dirty, like really beat to shit, okay? And so when I opened this one, my husband's underneath, he's like, there's no leaks, it looks really good. We open up the hood and I open this and I'm like, it's pretty pristine. There's no rust, there's no leaks. I'm like, okay, let's drive it. So we took a drive. And as I'm driving it, I thought, is this my truck? Is this my unicorn? And at that exact moment, I looked over at the sticker and it said 10999. And as a angel number enthusiast, and maybe not quite, I'm working towards my expertise, but I thought new beginnings and transformation, exactly what I'm using this truck for. This is my truck. So we get all the way back, right? We get all the way back and I'm like, okay, I still don't want to pay $11,000. I really wanted to only pay 10. And the reason is because in the state of Colorado, we have sales tax, we have dealership tax, like all these fees and everything. And I was like, I really wanted to save my cash as much as I could. Not only that, but I'm going to have to do some work to it before I can actually use it for what I wanted. And that's going to cost the money too. And so what did I do? I said, hey, can you get me in this for 10K? So then he comes back and he says, okay, I can get you into this truck for $10,300. And with all dealer taxes, fees, everything, when said and done, it was $11,500. And I had a top budget of $12,000. And now I also get to sell this topper for cash as well. And as I looked at the $11,500 and I signed the papers and shook his hand, I looked down at my phone and it was 4:44 on my clock. And I knew in that exact moment, and I'm gonna cry because this is called joy. I knew in that exact moment that this was my unicorn. The universe put this here at that exact moment in time. I had to go through the process of looking at all the other shit boxes. I had to understand what a unicorn was. And that was just by trial and error and doing my research. So I ended up getting this all in for $11,500. $500 under my top end budget to pay for a car. And I'm gonna get a little extra cash from this guy here. And I wanna say that manifestation process, it happened within the span of about 2 weeks. almost exactly that 9-day hold. So I'm like, wow, not only did I just pay cash for a car, I've never done that before in my life. So that was a really fun process of not having to go through financing for a fucking car vehicle. And then the other thing was that, you know, just getting to know some of the nuances, right? And feeling really good. And so here I am out joyriding at Red Rocks this morning. And yeah, this is where we're at Red Rocks, as I am just really enjoying this manifestation coming into my reality. What do you think? What are some of the other questions you have about manifesting? Look, we all want things to land in our laps. Psh, of course we do. But that's not how it works, you guys. We gotta do the work. It's about ourselves. We are the universe. Found it. I found my unicorn.